Hello and welcome to Chasing Green Arrows. Today we'll be predicting game week 2 of the English Premier League. I have with me as usual my co-host Abrar Aziz. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. And after a long time, I have with me the host of the Double Pivot podcast, Mr. Hamza Mohammed. Make sure you subscribe to Double Pivot on YouTube and on Instagram. Hamza, how are you doing?
I'm good, Mustafa. It's good to be back after a long time. I was waiting when you're going to call me back.
It's good to have you back.
Thank you.
The Premier League is back and running the second week, so I thought let's predict this. This game week is very important because the biggest club in the league is going to play finally, Manchester United. So it's going to be an important week. So I just wonder, let's start off with Saturday's fixtures: Everton versus West Brom. Don, would you like to take that?
I'm going to go with an Everton victory. Everton's looking like a good side. They've made some good signings like we discussed, and West Brom defensive issues quite clear over there. So I'm going to go with a 2-0 Everton victory. Just looking forward to James Rodriguez really starting to make maybe on the goal sheet, in the goal, maybe on the goal, maybe scoring a goal as well. Sorry about that. I just
no worries. Yeah, and Hamza.
Yeah, I think I'd go for an Everton win too. I mean, something like 3-0. I think they played really well in the first game versus Tottenham, and then Ancelotti looks like he's, had like a full preseason. Like last year, he came in the middle of the season, I think, and then didn't have much time. But they look a settled team now. So I'm going for an easy Everton win.
Yeah, you're going
West Brom, I think. Yeah, sorry.
No. So you're going 3-0, you said.
Yeah,
and West Brom, like you said, I think you're going to say that the newly promoted probably.
Yeah, a lot of people, I think Fulham and West Brom are the weakest and everybody's touting them for relegation. So I thought Everton will have too much for them.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I'll just go for just 1+. Because we're going in order, so I'll just go for 2, 3, 4. I think Everton have been impressive, and Ancelotti is doing a good job, and it looks like the new signings are gelling well. So I think it'll be a comfortable win for Everton. And moving on to the team which impressed, I think all of us, Leeds United versus Fulham. Hamza, you can take that first.
I think again, I can't see anything past the Leeds win. I watched them closely versus in the Liverpool game, and then it was like a really big surprise. The way they were attacking, and they caused Liverpool a lot of problems. So again, I'd go for like a 4-0, 4-0 Leeds win.
Wow.
So
yeah,
I'm
glad you said that you're surprised, because even me, I heard a lot about Leeds and about the manager, and he's the new Pep, but to actually see what they did against Liverpool, that's evidence, and that's
right.
So I completely agree with you on that note. Don, how do you see this game panning out?
Yeah, I think Fulham again very, very defensively very weak. They really don't have someone who can really man that defense, and Leeds really showed against a top quality side like Liverpool, scored 3 goals against that kind of a side, but they will really make life hard for Fulham. So I'm going to go with a 3-0 victory for Leeds.
I'll go 2-0 Leeds, but I think it should be a comfortable Leeds victory. And moving on to the biggest match of the game week, Manchester United versus Crystal Palace. Don, you can go with that first. I think last year this fixture United lost, if I'm not mistaken. But
the biggest club. Oh.
But yeah, you don't.
I think Liverpool has more titles now. So.
Not yet. But Don, you can go for this. What is your prediction for this cracker of a game?
I'm gonna go with a boring, dull 1-1 draw.
1-1, huh? Bruno Fernandes.
I'm just gonna Bruno Fernandes with the penalty and Zaha with a very, very good goal.
I feel United will be slow off the blocks. Against Villa in the warm-up game, they were slow. So it will be a tricky game, and United are not they haven't signed anyone apart from Van de Beek. So there might be an issue over there. But Hamza, your prediction for this game?
I'm slightly confused again after Don White's prediction of a draw. I was going for a United win. I don't know what exactly to say. I think it'll be interesting because I haven't followed United in the preseason, so I don't really know how they've been doing. But I still think, like a 2-0 United win. I mean, Van de Beek, Pogba. I mean, it'll be interesting to see the lineup, but I think Greenwood and the attacking lineup should pull them through. So I'll go for like a 2-1 United win. But yeah, you never know.
Yeah. Even like I saw them in the preseason, but they were slow. They weren't that sharp. But I think they had a good rest. The likes of Bruno Fernandes, I think he needed a rest. I think he'll come out fresh. Pogba, I think Pogba is recovered from coronavirus, so I think he should be starting.
Yeah.
Even the likes of Martial, they'll be ready to go. So I see Crystal Palace scoring as well. So I'll go with a 3-1. But there's a bit of bias there. It's not going to be that easy. I don't think it's going to be a comfortable victory. So yeah. And then moving on
to the most important game.
I just see the logo and I just laugh. But yeah, it's Arsenal versus West Ham.
Let Hamzu take this one first.
The best fan club in London, West Ham United versus Arsenal. Hamzu, your prediction for this game?
I think I'll go for Arsenal win. I mean, they looked good in the first game week versus Fulham. And Arteta has done a good job. So I mean, I'll go for Arsenal. I mean, David Moyes and West Ham. I don't fancy West Ham a lot. I mean, they have good players, but like Moyes is in charge, so I don't really see him troubling Arteta away. I mean, at the Emirates. So yeah, I'll go for an Arsenal win, 3-1 again.
3-1 Arsenal.
Yeah.
Don, I don't think we should ask you about this, but yeah, I think it'll be 3-0 Arsenal win. West Ham were very poor. I watched that game closely against Newcastle. Very rusty. They're just not gelling together. I think David Moyes has a lot to do. He might be the first manager to get sacked. But Arsenal have been performing, especially since the end of last season. I see a couple of Aubameyang goals there. I think I'm going to captain him in
fantasy.
Yeah, so I think 3-0 Arsenal. Done.
I think I agree with both of you. I'm actually impressed by both your predictions. I'm gonna go for a 4-0 thrashing because West Ham looks terrible. They were so bad against Newcastle in game week 1, and Arsenal is coming off of a pretty decent victory from Fulham. And I think Fulham and West Ham and West Brom are my relegation candidates as well. So I feel like West Ham will not have too much to trouble Arsenal. And I think Arsenal will go ahead and hat-trick Aubameyang. I'm going for that. So last game week Salah, this game week Aubameyang.
Aubameyang. And then moving on to the next Sunday's fixtures. The kick-off with Southampton versus the best team in North London, Tottenham Hotspur. Don, what's your prediction for this game?
It's gonna be a dull 1-1 draw, similar to the United game, I think.
Yeah,
I feel like Tottenham is just they're not out ready yet. I mean, there's a lot of issues with that team. Mourinho seems like he's starting to make excuses again. The team looks very disjointed. They probably have it in them to maybe pull out, they have enough players enough skillful players to maybe get a goal from here and there, but they will leak some goals as well because of how disjointed this team is. And I just think it's going to be a boring game. It's going to be a 1-1 draw for Southampton.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very difficult time at Tottenham right now. But they're snatching the left back. United were supposed to get him, and Tottenham and Gareth Bale is also linked on a loan very heavily. It looks like he's going to come. So Hamzu, there is some signs, but right now they don't look like in the best of form, and they are struggling, Tottenham. So what's your prediction for this game?
Yeah, I mean, I think agree 100% with Don Bay. I mean, they just look like a really badly balanced side to me. And Mourinho, I don't know. There's the same problem. I don't think he's changed. I mean, again, hitting out at players and then criticizing players in public. So, and then even the game versus Everton, they didn't really create much in the attack. So I'd again go for a draw. I think they'd score 1 goal because of individual quality, but I also expect, like Don Bay said, Southampton to cause problems. So I'll go for a 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw. I'll go with a cheeky 2-1 win for the Spurs. I think Harry Kane will score, but I agree with both of you guys on the Tottenham aspect, but hopefully the new signings will help them out, but that only time can tell. And then moving on to an interesting game, Newcastle versus Brighton. I feel both teams had a good start. Brighton lost, but I think they played really well against Chelsea. They were unlucky, missed some chances, but it was a pretty good fight from Brighton. So, Hamzu, your thoughts on this game?
I mean, two good teams. I mean, I think probably who are looking to push up this season after I mean, both contrasting seasons last year. But I think I'd go for a Newcastle win. I think their attack, like Saint Maximin, Almiron, and then I think who's playing the striker?
Wilson.
Yeah,
Wilson.
Callum Wilson. I think they look like a good fit for Newcastle. So I think they'll start off well the season, Newcastle. So I'll go for a Newcastle win, like 2-0.
Sounds good. And Don, do you see Brighton pulling anything off, getting any points, or?
No, I think it'll be a tight game. There won't be too many goals in it. I just feel like it's going to be a 1-0 victory to Newcastle. It's just going to be a very tight game with Wilson probably scoring again, but it's going to be a tight game, very tactically balanced, very tight game. So that's what I'm seeing for this game.
Yeah, and
1-0 to Newcastle.
So you're going?
1-0 to Newcastle.
1-0. I'll go 2-1. I was going to go for a draw, but I think Newcastle might just snatch it. Probably 2-1 to Newcastle. And then moving on, so it's the fight for relegation, Chelsea versus Liverpool. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Don, what are your thoughts on this game? I'm gonna get it. I think after this podcast, Hamza doesn't look impressed with my comedy. But yeah, I think this is to be very honest with you, this is gonna be Chelsea's real test to see where they hold, because I wasn't too impressed with their first game, but I think this will be the real test. Liverpool did leak goals against Leeds, so but I just feel Liverpool are the better team. But I think we'll know where Chelsea stands after this game. Don, what are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Chelsea's big test really after this game, the Brighton game, they had a moment where there was kind of they were dull, but then Reece James came up with the goods. He really scored an incredible goal, so they kind of got that advantage back. So I feel like Chelsea will have a lot to prove in this game, and I think that Liverpool will be too much for them to handle. Liverpool's attack is incredible. There's no doubt about that. They do have some defensive issues, but they will outscore Chelsea, I think, in this game. I think it'll be a 4-2 victory for Liverpool. I think there's going to be a lot of games. I feel like there's defensive issues in Chelsea as well. Still, it's not yet ready. They don't have the likes of Silva and Chilwell ready yet. So
they're not going to be fit for the next game.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, so I think Chilwell is still suffering.
What about Ziyech? Any news on him?
No, I think he's also not available. I think he's also out for another 2 weeks.
And after that performance, you think Lampard will stick to Havertz? He had a poor game, but I'm sure he'll stick to him, right? Otherwise, he'll drop a lot of confidence.
Yeah. No, I think he'll stick with him. I also believe Pulisic is still not available. He's maybe going to be on the bench, but he's not yet ready. So I just feel like the defense is going to leak some goals. They might score 1 or 2 goals because they have a decent attack in terms of Werner, Havertz, and stuff like that. But I just think that Mason Mount is there as well. But it's just going to be a 4-2 victory. It's going to be a cracker of a game, similar to the Leeds and Liverpool game. But I think Liverpool will come out the better team, 4-2.
Yeah, so it looks like Chelsea will take time to gel. So your thoughts on this game against Liverpool, your team?
I think the game is going to be close just because Liverpool, since in general the restart haven't been at their best, so that's why I just slightly give Chelsea a chance. But I mean, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, how they play Chelsea. But I personally was going for a draw this game because I don't know how exactly the Liverpool defense is also going to cope up, because they've been little rusty. I mean, since the start. I mean, haven't played a lot of games. So I mean, I'm hoping for a win, but I think my deep down prediction is like a draw, like a score draw, like 2-2 draw.
Interesting.
And then I mean that's what I feel. But obviously hoping that Liverpool win. Yeah.
Just to ask you about Van Dijk, is it the lockdown after lockdown effects? Because he doesn't look as crazy.
I mean, honestly, I think since that Watford game, in general, the defense hasn't been as solid. Maybe it's a little bit of complacency, and then they need a kick up their backside to get things going. But I think something's been missing after that Watford game. I mean, we won obviously, but the defense hasn't looked as solid. So that's why I slightly give Chelsea a chance. I'm going for a draw. That's why. But if Liverpool were at their best, obviously I would have gone for a Liverpool win. But I think start of the season, both teams still figuring it out. I think they'll play out a draw. So that's what I think.
Mm-hmm. I'll go with a 2-1 Liverpool win, because I actually felt after the lockdown, because they won the league quickly, so I thought, they're just like, taking it easy, and like, they didn't have to. And but like the start of this season, they did win the game against Leeds, so that is very important. Like a championship team, you need to win those type of games, and I think that's what's going to help Liverpool. But yes, there is some issues there. I don't know if they're going to spark up again, but I just feel they will win.
I think I'm just being a humble Liverpool fan. I don't want to get too cocky and say we're going to win. Away game for.
I'm just gonna say I was surprised with your prediction.
Yeah, even me. I think Liverpool will win it. It might be a bit.
I think I need to show a little bit more confidence.
You saw like I called Arsenal 4-0 thrashing. So
right.
Some valid points there though, because I think the likes of Warner will test Liverpool. His pace looks impressive.
Yeah.
So I think but I just feel Liverpool will win the game. But let's see.
I think the key part will be that Werner side, because even Leeds troubled Alexander-Arnold and Joe Gomez, that right side of the Liverpool. Yeah. So I think Lampard will look to target that side. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, definitely. It's probably the game to look forward to. It is the game to look forward to, if you're not me. Yeah, and then moving on, Leicester versus Burnley. Hamza, do you see another Vardy party?
Well, Leicester versus Burnley, I mean, I think Vardy looks in form. I think Leicester should win, but you never know. Burnley are always the party spoilers. So it could be a tough game for Leicester, but I think Leicester will come out on top, like a 2-1 win for Leicester, and then Vardy continuing to score. I think when Vardy continues to score, I mean, has that patch, I think he usually goes on. So
definitely. You're exactly. Yeah, I was discussing this with somebody else as well, and like, when he's in that patch, he will score goals. And right. Don, he's the reason that Aubameyang didn't get the Golden Boot. So what are your thoughts on Leicester and James Vardy?
He's a top goal scorer, man. He's a very good goal scorer. You guys are absolutely bang on in terms of he kind of, when he scores in one two games, he goes on to score in 5-6 games together. It's usually the case with him. Burnley, they've not really looked the side that they were about, I want to say, 2 years back. They do show some frailties in the defensive unit. I just feel like they have a lot to prove this season in terms of winning away from home and stuff like that. I just don't see that this Burnley team is the same exact team that will go out. Are they playing at home or are they away? Are they at home?
Leicester at home. Burnley
Leicester at home, so they're away. So they kind of struggle away from home. So it's just a little tricky. I just feel like Burnley is not ready yet to challenge like Leicester, which is a better off team on paper at least. So I think I'll agree with Hamzu's prediction 2-1 to Leicester.
2-1 to Leicester. I'll go 2-0 to Leicester. I don't know about you guys, but Tariq Lamptey impressed me a lot. Like I know on Twitter there's a lot of talk about him, but he impressed me a lot in the first game. So it's going to be interesting I'll be interested to watch him. But I think it'll be a comfortable win. Vardy in form, 2-0 Leicester. And then moving on, Aston Villa versus Sheffield United. Sheffield, Villa's first game of the season, and Sheffield leaked some goals, which was unlike them, uncharacteristic of Sheffield. Do you see an improved performance, Don, on Sheffield's behalf?
There's one big thing for Aston Villa. They have an absolute rock solid goalkeeper in their ranks now, so that'll help. Emi Martin is signed for them, so now. But Aston Villa is a team that's going to struggle. I think this season is just they even last season they just about managed to survive. So this team is going to struggle. Sheffield, you were right; they were a little uncharacteristic, but this again I think will be a tight game. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw. And Hamza, your thoughts on this game?
I think for me, Sheffield will come out on top. I think even the game with Wolves, I mean, there was two moments where they conceded goals. I mean, Wolves played well, but after that, Sheffield looked decent only. So I mean, and then like Don Bhai said, I mean, Aston Villa, they barely managed to stay up last season. So. Again, they along with Fulham and West Brom look weak defensively, and then I can't see many attackers I think they have Grealish, but I don't see any other attackers who's going to trouble the defenses. So I think I'll go for a Sheffield win, like a 2-0 Sheffield win.
2-0. I'll probably go 1-0 Sheffield. I agree with Hamzu, but it could be a tight game as well. But I'll probably go with the Sheffield win. I think there'll be an improved performance after that game against Wolves. And then speaking about Wolves, the last game of the game week is Wolves versus Manchester City. City playing the first game of the season. Hamzu, your thoughts on this game?
I mean, interesting game. I think Man City starting off the season. It'll be interesting to see how they cope without David Silva and then a lot of other new signings. I mean, Nathan Ake is in. I'd like to see who plays in defense. I mean, is it going to be Laporte and Ake, like two left-footed centre backs? You don't really see that happening. So interesting things with the lineup. And then Wolves obviously won the first game 2-0 comfortably, and then they are playing really well. So I mean, I still think City will come out on top. So I'll go for like a closely fought 2-1 victory for City.
Yeah, closely fought win. Some good points there. Don, your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I think pretty much exactly like Hamzu said. I think there's City usually has a whole bunch of players that they usually buy every window, and then they kind of have to it takes them a game or two kind of to inculcate the new players in. There's Nathan Ake and Laporte would be an unusual center back pairing because both left-footed. Hamzu just mentioned that. So it just kind of their first game, so they'll be figuring out a couple of small minuscule things that they'll have to just work around, and they're up against a very, very good Wolves side. So it'll be interesting to see how they come out of this. I just think that they have enough in their arsenal to kind of just go ahead and win this. I'd say a little bit more goal scoring, so I'd go 3-2 City.
You went 3-2 City, and Hamzu, you said?
I went 2-1 City.
I think City's going to come out all guns blazing after the last year. I just feel that because that loss hurt them, especially the Champions League loss as well. So Guardiola will get his team ready. I think it'll take the defenders time to gel in, but I think they will come out all guns blazing. So I'm predicting a 2-1 Wolves win. Raul Jimenez to score. Raul Jimenez to score. But yeah, I'm just doing that because of bias, but I do feel that City will come out all guns blazing. But you never know. Like I have this thing with Guardiola. I just feel and Wolves. You never know. But yeah, I think we wrapped up everything. Is there any last thoughts you guys want to talk about these fixtures or anything else?
I mean, I just think it's interesting because like a lot of the top teams have tricky fixtures. I mean, like for example, City, they need to start off well. I mean, if they lose to Wolves and then they have a few other tough games coming up, they don't want to play catch up to Liverpool like last season.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think it'll be interesting to see. And then Liverpool and Chelsea, again, another big game. I don't think either team wants to lose so early in the season. So it'll be really interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, definitely. I think those are some excellent points there. I think we covered most of it. It's going to be an exciting game week. I hope to catch you guys afterwards. But enjoy the games and take care of yourself, and good night.